Hello and welcome and namaste from New Delhi. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Gautam Roy. Coming up over the next 30 minutes. 12 people killed in clashes with security forces in Muzaffarabad. India slams Islamabad for committing atrocities in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Lebanon says at least 8 killed in Tyre strike before Israel's evacuation warning for the entire city. Attack carried out despite Trump and Iran warning Tel Aviv against targeting Lebanon. But Trump remains confident that the US could be sealing a deal with Iran within days. This is the latest in the US president's over 30 claims that an end to the West Asia war is close at hand. And ChatGPT maker OpenAI says it has filed confidentially for an initial public offering, joining rival Anthropic in a push for stock market listing to tap into investors' demand for AI shares. 12 people have been killed and dozens wounded in clashes between police and members of an activist group in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. In Muzaffarabad, supporters of the Joint Awami Action Committee, an anti-Pakistan government movement demanding economic and governance reforms, had vowed to press ahead with protests days after Pakistani authorities banned the group under the pretext of anti-terrorism laws. Members of the Joint Awami Action Committee have called their listing as a terror group an act of oppression. They added that they are demonstrating for legitimate economic and political rights. Pakistani forces have arrested more than 70 members over the weekend. And India on Tuesday slammed Pakistan over the ongoing unrest and police brutality in Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. Addressing a weekly media briefing, Ministry of External Affairs spokesperson said, India hopes the international community will take note of the situation and hold Pakistan accountable for its actions.
पाकिस्तान की ओर से फर्जी खबरों और वीडियो का एक सिलसिला लगातार देखने को मिला है, देख रहे हैं हम लोग। यह अपनी विफलताओं को छिपाने और अपने मानवाधिकारों के उल्लंघन हनन के से ध्यान भटकाने का पाकिस्तान का हताशा पूर्ण प्रयास है। पाकिस्तानी कब्जे वाले कश्मीर में भीषण पुलिस बर्बरता की खबरें हम लोगों ने देखी है। कई एक रिपोर्ट देखने में आया है जिसमें कई एक प्रदर्शनकारी मारे गए हैं और कई एक बुरी तरह से घायल हैं। हम उम्मीद करते हैं कि अंतर्राष्ट्रीय समुदाय पाकिस्तान को अपने दुष्कर्मों और अत्याचारों के लिए जवाबदेही ठहराएगा।
Now, India has slammed Pakistan at the United Nations Security Council for weaponizing Afghanistan's landlocked status and carrying out deadly airstrikes which have killed hundreds of civilians. Speaking at the UNSC on the situation in Afghanistan, India's ambassador to the UN, P. Harish, said Pakistan's denial of transit access for Afghan traders amounted to unprecedented trade and transit terrorism. He also flagged concerns raised by the UN assistance mission in Afghanistan over Pakistan's campaign of military airstrikes, which have led to a blockade of key trade routes and disrupted livelihoods.
We lend our voice again in re-emphasizing the importance of incentivizing positive actions. The political reality of Afghanistan has changed in the last 5 years, and the current UN sanctions regime must take that into account. The UN and the international community need policy instruments that aim to benefit the people of Afghanistan and nudge policy in the right direction, rather than only wielding tools of punishment that are yielding diminishing returns. The international community must engage with all stakeholders across all formats. Pakistan's campaign of military airstrikes against Afghanistan is causing huge civilian casualties and sufferings to the Afghan people. We reiterate Secretary General's deep concern at civilian casualties caused by airstrikes, cross-border firing, and targeted killings as detailed in UNAMA reports. We support the Secretary General's call urging compliance with obligations under international law, including international humanitarian law, and ensuring protection of civilians. We also support UNAMA's earlier calls for investigation to ensure accountability, prevent recurrence, and uphold victims' rights. Such unconscionable acts of violence are a blatant assault on Afghanistan's sovereignty and a threat to the region's peace and stability. India strongly condemns the airstrikes on Afghan territory.
The Indian envoy also slammed Islamabad's decision to refer to groups inside its own borders as Fitna al-Hindustan as nothing but officially sponsored misinformation dressed in religious terminology.
Coming up with official notifications directing Pakistan's government agencies to start referring to groups inside its own borders as Fitna al-Hindustan is nothing but officially sponsored misinformation and disinformation dressed in religious terminology. This is an outcome of an organized factory of hate coming from the deep state of Pakistan, which aims to keep their citizens in a state of permanent hostility with India in order to perpetuate their stay in power and control of national resources and detract them from core political and economic problems. The de facto coup by the military through the 27th Constitutional Amendment is only its most recent manifestation.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has held a telephonic conversation on Tuesday with the Emir of Kuwait, Sheikh Mishal Al-Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah. The two leaders exchanged views on the evolving security situation in West Asia. Prime Minister Modi expressed deep concern over the escalation of tensions and reiterated the call for de-escalation, dialogue and diplomacy for restoration of peace and stability. The PM also thanked the Emir of Kuwait for his personal attention to the continued well-being and the safety of the large Indian community in Kuwait. Lebanon's health ministry has said that an Israeli airstrike on the southern city of Tyre killed at least 8 people and wounded 32 others on Tuesday. According to the state-run national news agency, the strike took place shortly before Israel's military issued an evacuation warning for Tyre and its surrounding areas, urging residents to leave ahead of further attacks. The alert was issued for the entire city. Now, this made the residents of southern Lebanon's Tyre, including the Christian quarter, flee on Tuesday after Israel's army for the first time warned the entire city to evacuate ahead of strikes. The warning came a day after Iran warned it would resume attacks on Israel if it kept striking its neighbor. Israel has repeatedly struck the coastal city of Tyre since the latest war erupted with the Hezbollah, following the Iran-backed group's rocket fire on the 2nd of March to avenge the killing of Iran's supreme leader. Well, that's not the first time that Donald Trump has said that very close to a deal with Iran. Now, earlier Iran and Israel have announced a pause in their military operations against each other following a rapid escalation of hostilities over Sunday and Monday. Both the sides said that they are halting the latest round of fire, but also warned that they would retaliate if struck again. Now, this came hours after Iran's armed forces said they had stopped operations following the delivery of a painful response to Israel. Later on Monday, Iran's main military command, the Khatam al-Anbiya Central Headquarters, issued a statement announcing a halt to strikes against Israel. In the United States, a federal judge has struck down a $100,000 fee that U.S. President Trump had imposed on new H-1B visas for highly skilled foreign workers. The court concluded that it constituted an unlawful tax the Congress never authorized. The administration argued that the fee constituted a lawful monetary penalty that the president was authorized to impose under federal immigration law. But the judge concluded that the fee was not a penalty but a tax that the Republican president lacked any authorization from Congress to issue, and that the U.S. State Department and U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services could not implement. The judge cited the U.S. Supreme Court's February ruling striking down Trump's sweeping tariffs he pursued under a law meant for use in national emergencies. White House spokeswoman Taylor Rogers in a statement said the Trump administration is confident this order will be reversed on appeal. NATO's multinational forces held live fire and drone exercises in Slovakia in late May in an annual drill in the alliance's eastern flank. The exercises included drone and urban combat training, heavy armored live fire drills, as well as hand-to-hand combat. Slovakia is among 8 NATO member states hosting multinational battle groups across the alliance's eastern flank. NATO has stepped up its presence in Eastern Europe in response to the war in Ukraine, aiming to strengthen deterrence and defense in the region. ChatGPT maker OpenAI has filed confidentially to go public on the US stock market. The artificial intelligence giant's debut on Wall Street is expected to be one of the most highly valued listings in market history. Though it did not disclose the size or terms of the offering and said a timeline has not yet been determined. It now joins rival Anthropic in a push towards the stock market as investors seek exposure to the artificial intelligence boom. At that valuation, OpenAI would set the stage for a trio of trillion-dollar valuation companies debuting rapidly, which together are seen as the most consequential test of investor appetite for high-growth technology stocks over the last 10 years. Earlier, Anthropic, the company behind the viral coding assistant Claude Code, said on the 1st of June that it had confidentially filed for a US initial public offering weeks after raising $65 billion in a funding round that valued it at $965 billion. And still to come in this edition of DD India Live. Asia's longest road tunnel above 10,000 feet at Zojila inches closer to completion after final breakthrough blast. And Home Minister Amit Shah launches land port management system. Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Gautam Roy. Now, in a major milestone for India's infrastructure, the excavation of the iconic Zojila tunnel has achieved its final breakthrough. After inspecting the project plan outside the construction site, Union Minister Nitin Gadkari triggered the last blast on Tuesday, completing the tunneling phase of the ambitious project. The minister was accompanied by Lieutenant Governor of Jammu and Kashmir, Manoj Sinha. The 13.153-kilometer single-tube bidirectional tunnel, located at an elevation of 11,578 feet, will be the world's longest and highest such road tunnel. It connects Baltal in Kashmir Valley's Sonmarg with Meenamarg in Ladakh's Dras Kargil, bypassing the treacherous Zojila Pass. Work on the tunnel began in April in the year 2021 from both ends. Once operational, the tunnel will provide all-weather connectivity on the Srinagar-Kargil-Leh highway, ending months-long winter closures caused by heavy snow and avalanches. Union Home Minister Amit Shah launched the Land Port Management System, or the LPMS, a certified digital platform developed to modernize and streamline operations across India's land ports. During the event, new stakeholder accommodation facilities at Doki Land Port and Srimantapur Land Port were also inaugurated to improve amenities for security personnel and other users. LPMS is a state-of-the-art digital platform designed to integrate operations across land ports in a unified system. Speaking at the inauguration of the Land Port Management System, Amit Shah said that while the concept of land ports originated from security concerns, Prime Minister Modi's vision has transformed them into instruments of secure trade, people-to-people connectivity and cultural exchange.
लैंड पोर्ट अथॉरिटी की कल्पना एक प्रकार से सुरक्षा को लेकर चिंता में से ज्यादा उपजी थी, परंतु नरेंद्र मोदी जी की संकल्पना ने उसको सुरक्षा का पहला कवच तो बनाया ही बनाया, व्यापार को सुगम बनाकर ज्यादा सुरक्षित बनाने का भी काम किया, दोनों ओर के देशों की जनता के बीच में एक संपर्क सेतु का भी काम लैंड पोर्ट किस तरह से कर सकते हैं, उसका भी ये कल्पना में अलग डायमेंशन जोड़ा गया।
India and Mongolia have strengthened their civilizational and cultural ties through their shared heritage in an unprecedented manner over the last few days. DD India's Sanvi Taneja has spoken with India's ambassador to Mongolia, Atul Malhari Gotsurve, about an initiative which has been making waves in the Mongolian capital Ulaanbaatar. Listen in.
We have with us a very special guest here on DD India, Mr. Atul Malhari Gotsurve, Indian ambassador to Mongolia. He's been serving here at the helm of affairs in very harsh climatic conditions for the past 2 years. Let's speak to him. Buddha's disciples' relics have come all the way from Sachi to Ulaanbaatar, and we are in the final leg of this relics exposition that is underway at the Ganden Monastery. How do you see these vibrant people-to-people ties on display here?
The holy relics of Lord Buddha's two chief disciples, Arhant Sariputra and Arhant Magdalena, are here in Mongolia for exposition at the Ganden Monastery for 10 days. India and Mongolia are strategic partners and spiritual siblings due to deep civilizational linkages of Buddhism. And the visit of the holy relics of Lord Buddha's two chief disciples has further strengthened the bonds of Buddhism between India and Mongolia. I would like to specially thank Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, who made this announcement in October 2025 during the state visit of His Excellency President of Mongolia, Khorel Sukhokhna, that the holy relics of Lord Buddha's two disciples would come to Mongolia on the Buddha Purnima day, that is 31st May.
India is investing heavily in the development projects of Mongolia. Would you like to elaborate on these projects and also a word on the expected impact of these projects for the new generation of Mongolia?
First is the oil refinery project. The oil refinery project is being constructed in the Dornogobi province of Mongolia. It is a $1.7 billion soft loan project from the Exim Bank of India. Around 4,000 Indian workers are working very hard. Engineers are working to complete the project in time. The second project which we are doing is the Atal Bihari Vajpayee Center for Excellence in Information Technology, Communication and Outsourcing. It is a $20 million soft loan project from Exim Bank of India. And once completed, 1,000 Mongolian youth will be trained in advanced machine learning, AI, and advanced programming languages, call center business, and they will make them job ready. One more project which we are doing is the India-Mongolia Friendship School. It's a $5.25 million grant project. And once completed, 1,200 Mongolian students can study in one shift. So in double shift, the number can go to 2,000. We have started the joint project between Embassy of India and the Ganden Monastery to digitize 1 million manuscripts of the Ganden Monastery. So that is a rare depository of knowledge which will be available to researchers, Buddhist scholars all over the world.
India and Mongolia also share a robust defense partnership. We have these annual elephant nomadic military exercises happening annually. Would you like to elaborate on the defense aspect of our partnership?
There are various things that are happening, so I will enumerate a few to you. One is the annual bilateral military exercise that we have with between the defense forces of India and Mongolia. That is called a nomadic elephant. So 1 year the exercise happens in India and 1 year in Mongolia alternatively. We have established at the National Defense University Cyber Security Training Center. So for 3 years this training center has been giving advanced cyber security training to the defense forces of Mongolia. Then there are English teachers who are teaching English to the Mongolian forces.
So could you also tell us and our viewers about the initiatives planned here in the times to come that will further elevate our ties?
There are several initiatives which we are undertaking. One, we are planning to start direct flight between India and Mongolia. Also, the second important initiative that we are planning is to supply coking coal from Mongolia to India.
The Ulaanbaatar is the coldest capital of the world. The temperatures here get as harsh as minus 40 degrees Celsius in winters. How challenging does it get, sir, for you and your team to operate in these difficult conditions?
A diplomat is like a soldier of a country, and we feel at home. The Mongolian people are so friendly. As we say in Buddhism, the compassion, metta, that is friendship, has to be given, and that is there. So there is a lot of warmth of this friendship which keeps us warm. And also when we see the India flag fluttering, we get more motivation.
What message would you like to give to both Mongolians and Indians about Buddhism, about the message of peace and harmony? A word on that.
My personal belief is what Lord Buddha gave the mantra of Panchashil 2,500 years ago. That was valid that time, that is valid today, and that will be valid for centuries ahead. The principle of Panchashil is very important. Lord Buddha was a big pragmatist, and he has given the way, the middle path to live in the world. So that is very important.
Principles of Panchashil and the middle path advocated by Gautam Buddha. These are the messages that India has brought along with the relics of the disciples of Gautam Buddha here in Ulaanbaatar. With camera person Saurabh Shukla, Tanvi Taneja for DD India.
Now, as Prime Minister Narendra Modi said to surpass Jawaharlal Nehru as India's longest continuously serving elected Prime Minister, Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister N. Chandrababu Naidu has hailed his 12-year tenure as a period of renewed national confidence, cultural pride and global recognition. In an op-ed published ahead of the milestone, the Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister emphasized that Prime Minister Modi combines civilizational confidence with modern governance, giving India renewed pride and a stronger global position. India's identity and strategic relevance have been restored, enabling the country to engage with the world as an equal among major partners. Prime Minister Modi integrates India's ancient knowledge systems like yoga and meditation with modern technology and innovation-led growth, promoting global recognition of Indian traditions. The past decade has seen India rise from the world's 5th largest to 4th largest economy, driven by governance focused on conviction, execution and technological initiatives. Key achievements include initiatives like PM Jan Dhan accounts, Aadhaar integration, UPI and direct benefit transfers, leading to one of the largest financial inclusion exercises in history. Technology and digital governance have reduced poverty, leakages in welfare systems and inefficiencies, bringing India's economic divide and bridging India's economic divide and accelerating social transformation. Investments in infrastructure, that is highways, ports, airports, freight corridors, railways, renewable energy and manufacturing are shaping India's long-term growth. Naidu also highlighted the importance of cooperative federalism, noting that states now have more space to innovate and grow, with Andhra Pradesh benefiting from development-oriented projects. The Andhra Pradesh CM concluded that India is at a defining moment, combining confidence, aspiration and collective resolve to march steadily towards the goal of Viksit Bharat by 2047. The municipality of Craiova in Romania organized a ceremony to confer the title of honorary citizen to an Indian construction worker, Vipin Kumar, who rescued a 5-year-old Romanian girl earlier in January this year. The heroic incident took place in Nicolae Romanescu Park in Craiova in Romania when a child fell through the thin ice covering a lake. Vipin Kumar bravely jumped into the freezing water and held the child above the surface for nearly 30 minutes until firefighters arrived. His selfless actions were widely praised and ultimately led to his being awarded the title of Honorary Citizen of Romania. The event was attended by Ambassador of India to Romania and Moldova, Dr. Manoj Kumar Mohapatra, who praised Vipin Kumar's exceptional courage and emphasized that his actions reflected the values of compassion, service and humanity. He also mentioned that the rescue embodied India's philosophy of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which means the world is one family.
India is known for its philosophy, and our philosophy is called Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. What does it mean? The whole world is a single family, and therefore when we see anybody in distress, we don't think about ourselves, and therefore what Mr. Vipin Kumar did, and that is the symbol of India, that is India's commitment for the whole world, and we project the whole world that Indians are true friends. Our civilization is more than 5,000 years, but to our philosophy that Vishwa Bandhu, that whole world, we would be the whole world's friend, and that is committed, that is shown by Mr. Vipin Kumar when he rescued a small girl of Tribal. And today we are grateful that Honorable Mayor, the municipality, the county has honored the India through it has strengthened the relationship between Tribal and India.
And that's all we have for this edition of DD India Live. But let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. And for those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India's mobile app. It's available on both Android and iOS. Just scan the QR code on the screen to download the app right away. And we'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Gautam Roy, and from all of us here in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Live.